Alrighty, and hi everybody. So, welcome back, I guess, to another one of my like speed draw things or whatever. It's just something to do, kind of do more digital art because I stayed away from it. Which, to be fair, while I do like doing digital art, it does come with a lot of things where you're very limited to where you can work on it. I can't work on digital art while I'm at work, which stinks. So that's why I was kind of more so doing traditional for a while, because I can at least work on it in more spots. But for these speed draws I've been doing anyways, like the traditional ones, I had to mostly work on it in one spot anyways. So it's kind of one of those things like, what's the difference? But I go back, I'm doing this new group of characters, the D&D ones. I'm going back to them because I'm really enjoying the characters that are in like the type of characters are in this game series. They're very colorful. They're a lot, I guess, they're just more different. And I guess the environment that they're in, it's a little bit easier for me to kind of just naturally gravitate towards, because you can kind of mix whatever you want into it, which is fun for me. And I do really like my new character, probably because she's new, but I mean I still like her. But Gucci is she's all in fashion stuff, and I get to just kind of put her in whatever I feel like, because it's probably what she would want to wear, as long as it's very fabulous. Though I can't just put her in anything. But this piece though was a lot of different little works for me, I guess. It's a bad way of putting it, but there's a lot of details kind of with working with more than one character, and then there's like the background environment as well. There's probably some more things that I end up kind of wishing I would have touched up a little bit more, but at the same time I had to kind of stop myself, because otherwise I would still not be finished with this. I just need to, you gotta know when to hold back, because there's a lot of stuff on this for me that I just kept going back to, and I was like, you know what, just leave it. It's fine. But I put her hair up in a ponytail, and I gave her, furry coat thing, rich woman attitude. But I mostly wanted to draw this one though, because I wanted to draw the other characters in the group as well. My friend, they drew our characters together, and I was like, well, now I really want to draw our characters together. Then I was like, well, why don't I draw all of them? But then I realized soon after, I'm like, that's because we just started this campaign, so I don't really know too much about all of them. We've only done now 2 sessions, so like at this point when I was working on this, we'd only really done 1, so I didn't know as much. But I still think it turned out nice. I can always grow from here. But that's at least all the basics for the art. It was fun to work on. It was a lot of work though. This one was like about 8 hours total, maybe a little bit less, a little bit under. I know my recording said 8 hours and 45 minutes, so I think it was probably just out at 8 when I cut out the extra time I had to cut out. But anyways, now comes the part where I go, what do I talk about next? Because I talked about the art as much as I wanted to. I always go on to TV shows next. What new TV shows? Oh, I've been watching. I've already finished and watched the Animaniacs remake. I don't think there's any more. I don't really know. There's 13 episodes, and it wasn't bad. At first I wasn't too sure about it, because I'm not a super huge fan of the art style that they had chosen, which it's a very direct translation from what it was originally, with the line work and the character designs. But I think the difference being that originally they were traditionally drawn, which I'm not saying they should still traditionally draw it, because that's a lot of work and a lot of money, but it did end up kind of, when you put it in that kind of style into digital, depending on how it's done, it maybe doesn't look quite as nice, because you don't have like maybe some of the grain effect, or maybe some of this like the natural stuff that comes with doing things traditionally. So, you win some, you lose some. And I think too, the first couple episodes, some of the animation just felt, I guess, maybe felt a little bit rougher. But those are the first few episodes. There was like later on, it didn't really bug me as much or like stand out as much to me, which kind of happens. Usually the art kind of grows as the series goes on. But the jokes were all still funny. And still very similar to how they were before. I kind of wish they could have kept some of the other like side characters, or like, the bee character, I guess, if that makes sense. Like the birds, or like the Slappy the squirrel and stuff like that. They just did Pinky and the Brain, which, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy them. But after seeing like every episode, I feel like that's kind of why you do have it broken up, because like seeing that same thing over and over again does get somewhat redundant. They were still enjoyable to watch, but I think it could have been, maybe it was probably overdone a little bit, because there's only so many, I guess, different ways you can show Brain not winning and Pinky being kind of stupid. And two, there was a couple of these other, like, they actually made like new, like kind of like weird side story things with like different weird characters. I kind of wish they done more of those. There was like some, I don't remember all of them now because my memory's kind of crazy when I'm just binging through a show, but there was like a angry gnome or something that would, just speak for others who wouldn't speak for themselves. And that one was kind of funny. And there was this little it was this little girl and this alien race that was trying to take over Earth, but he got stuck in this little girl's yard and he couldn't press the button because she just kept messing with him. And that one was really, really funny, and I kind of wish that they had done more of those little side stories, because I was like, these are kind of, showing that they can still do like that original stuff. I still enjoy like all the little Animaniac stuff, and like I said, I still enjoyed the Pinky and the Brain stuff, but it would have been nice to see some of those other, like, just here's these other weird characters and weird story ideas, like this little girl who is just bothering this alien. It was just funny. It was cute, but still not bad. If you like the original, you probably still like this. So my biggest complaint was mainly the art, just because it's that old style put into digital, and it just doesn't feel quite right, if that makes any sense. If you kind of look at it, you kind of see it. But other new shows. I watched the second half of The Great Pretender, because that released recently. There was only, I think, like 8 episodes, but it was still really good. It's the first half of the season I really enjoyed. I liked all the different characters and the different like episode plots, and all the different, I guess, chapters, as they put it, because each, I think it's like every like 3-4 episodes is for a subplot of the series. And it's about all these like crazy heists and or like, trying to trick these bad rich people, getting their money and stuff like that. And it's just enjoyable because you're watching it. I do think it gets a little bit ridiculous at sometimes, but you'll be sitting there and you're like, oh, okay, this person's gonna trick this person, right? And you're like, yeah. And the show's like, yeah, they tricked them. And then 10 seconds later, they're like, just kidding, they were tricked and this person tricked them. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then 10 seconds later, they're like, just kidding, we tricked you, that didn't actually happen, this is what happened. And you're like, oh, okay. So it kind of does that a couple times. But the characters are really enjoying. I can't remember any of their names because I'm terrible, but all of them have they go into the backstory for everybody. They kind of touch up on some small, little stories, and kind of like you actually see them grow without this series. And it's just a really interesting way that they kind of build on these like character personalities and their relationships, even just between them. Like at the beginning of the series, the main character's, kind of just a whatever kind of kid, but then as he goes on, he kind of gets a little bit more like I guess kind of rough, and he kind of just isn't as much of a pushover on some things. Oh my gosh, I wish I could remember any of their names because I'm so terrible, but they have normal names, which is probably good. The main girl, the one, oh gosh, she does like all the karate and stuff, but she's really rough and like has hard edges and makes fun of the main character all the time. But then later on, as it goes on, she kind of understands him and it kind of opens up a little bit, and it's like, but she's still tough, so that's, she's cool. Backflips, karate, whatever. Can drive airplanes and whatever. They literally can all do whatever they want. They're just superhumans basically. But no, it's really enjoyable. I did a terrible job of explaining it, to be honest, but that's what happens. Those are the only main 2 shows I've watched recently. Oh no, just kidding, because Mandalorian's coming back out again, so that's 1 episode a week. That's still really enjoyable. The first season was really, really good. And I feel like this season is continuing that pattern. The most recent episode was crazy. Little baby Yoda, little baby Grogu got taken away. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next week. That's just a really enjoyable show, though. I mean, it's cowboy Star Wars. Like, come on. The Cowboys Star Wars is great. It's great. They literally just do like a bunch of like, old Western homages in it, and like, other old movies, references. I think I saw something with some like samurai movie was a reference in one of the other episodes. It's just cool though. I'm really enjoying it, even though I literally know nothing about the Star Wars expanded universe, which I think you kind of have to know some things about, but they at least explain it for, the small brains like me. So, but, I recommend all those shows, so take what you will. I definitely enjoyed them. I did it, like I said, I'm not someone that's you go out to for like a thorough or in-depth explanation, but that's my opinions on them. I say the only other thing I've been doing, I got a Phoenix Wright game on my phone, which is basically like watching TV. I'm gonna be honest, it's interactive TV because you're just watching the story play out, but you do present evidence and whatnot and go through the case. But there's really no penalty if you mess up. Like if you mess up, you just get to restart if you mess up enough times, and you don't even have to restart all the way over. You just restart from midway, so it's not like you lose all your progress. You just go back like to the last statement that you messed up on, and you get 5 new lives again. I don't know if there's really any other way they could have penalized you for other than just doing the full case over, but I think that would just make more people upset. So I'm playing I got the Spirit of Justice one. I had a bunch of Google credits and I had to use them, so I was like, might as well. But I've been enjoying it. The characters are, they're what they are. They're a bunch of, kind of one-dimensional characters, but, they're not really meant to be more than that. All the twists and turns are honestly all just silly, but they are enjoyable. And, I've been catching all the murderers. But it's weird. I haven't finished it yet, so we'll see how it turns out. But, like I said, it's like interactive TV. So instead of just watching YouTube or TV on my phone or whatever, I just play it in a sense. Anyways, though, we're getting close to the end here. So hopefully, of course, you guys have been enjoying some of my speed draws or whatever. I definitely have been enjoying making them. It's kind of pushing me back into that digital stuff. If you do like the, of course, art and everything, you can go check out my Instagram. That's at snon. As well, I do always have commissions. I do actually, and I don't get very many requests. In fact, I don't even know. The last time I got one was maybe like a couple months ago. So I don't get too many. So you'd be main priority. And hey, you might get a speed draw out of it. Wow. Unless you don't want it to, but But I asked none. Just let me know. Look forward to my next one, because I'm probably going to be continuing to make these. Oh, we'll see. I'll never promise anything, because I don't know what I'm planning to do next. As well, I know a lot of my main focus is my figures. My last video was like a giant ladybug unboxing figure. I really enjoyed doing that. It took a lot of work to work on that, so definitely check it out if you haven't. And my figures, you can look at them. They're at Desunasis on Instagram. I take pictures and such and so forth. But yeah, I appreciate again all 5 of the people who watch these. I know, who continuously watch them and support me. I really appreciate you guys. And of course, if you're new, I appreciate you watching all the way to the end here. I'm glad you enjoyed it enough to stay this long. Because speed draws are kind of everywhere nowadays. But anyways, I hope, of course, you have a great rest of the day, and hopefully, holidays are coming up soon, so you have a great holiday as well. But yeah, I'll see you guys all next time, and well, bye, y'all.